And I'm live. Let me go post the link onto the website. The website is called jollyrogerukulele.com. That's where we post all of the sheet music for today's lesson. And you can also go there and get all the sheet music for 8,000 other lessons. Not 8,000, a couple hundred. Uh, and you should go there now and pick them up if you already know about the website, which, goodness sakes, you should by now. You should know that we are doing songs from France this week, and we're getting close to wrapping up our introduction to ukulele series. Another weekend away, Laurel reports. Laurel is in early, and she is right. We're another weekend away every week, right? Every week, something else. And so we're doing a lot of live stuff. If you are watching the recording of this, I am getting in a tiny bit late. It's 1:02, so I'd fast forward only about 3 minutes, and then we'll get started. So I had some technical challenges again this morning, and well, I don't know if they're technical. It's the guy that's fixing my bathroom took longer than I thought, and so then I got everything got backed up, and so I'm rushing around getting here at the last possible second. So, in any event, if you fast forward about 2 minutes, we'll start the class, and I'm just double checking that the link is working properly, and it appears to be since everybody's piling in, and. Let's see what else we're talking about. Oh, I know we have Global Ukulele Institute tonight. So make sure that you're coming to be a part of that. That's going to be fun. Laurel is here. Another week underway. Laurel has been in so almost all of these over the last few months, and gets a gold sticker for attendance. I don't know. We should have probably started that, huh? That'd have been fun to have everybody just figure out who is. One year we were checking with the ukulele orchestra, and I don't remember why it came up, but we're like trying to figure out, who'd been coming and who wasn't, and that sort of thing. And we had one person who had dead on perfect attendance, couldn't play a lick, but been there every single time. And so that's what matters, right? And I can tell you at this point that person can play like nobody's business, but that business is showing up, right? Just keep showing up, and it's going to work out. So. All right, who else wandered in here? Let's see. Sandy is in. Hey, Sandy, welcome in for another week of it. Weren't we just here? Lynn's like, I don't know. There was apparently a weekend, but who knows what happened to it, right? Yeah, it's time. Time doesn't work like when you're a little kid. Time is slow. And you remember everything. That's because every moment is a significant portion of your life. When you get to a certain point, especially when things are crazy like they are, you're like, it's over. What happened? Wait, hold on. I haven't had a chance to think about what I'm doing. Renee is here again. Manette is here again. Lindy. Yeah, Lindy had spotty attendance last week, so we're hoping she gets her act together. Hey, Valerie. What's a girl got to do to get a super secret song? You emailed me and for the super secret song. I think I have everybody out. Hold on. Let me see if you're. Oh God, I got to stop going to the front page of Yahoo. It makes me sad every time I go there. Let me check. Sorry, Valerie. Am I not getting your emails? That's very, very disconcerting if you are emailing me and I'm not getting them. So let me double check. Yes. I believe that I am caught up. TDBZ. Let's see. I'm going to go in my spam box, Valerie. You're not there. New. Valerie, I haven't heard from you since May. So I think you're tricking me. Okay. Check your email because it's not in my spam box and it's not in regular email either. So send me one more thing. I absolutely will get it to you right after class here. But I haven't been getting your emails. So I don't know. Maybe you're sending them to some other good looking Gary somewhere. I don't know. I haven't been getting them. Maybe Gary up in Vancouver, right? Gary and Diane are here. Let's see. Fran, repair day again. Repair day again. Huh? Repair day again. Oh yeah, no. The bathroom takes 1 day to tear the plumbing apart, 1 day to fix the plumbing, 1 day to put the wall back up, 1 day to texturize and prime, I think, and then 1 day to finish. So 5 days for this little teeny tiny piece of plumbing. Yeah. Lanny is in from Hawaii. Can you believe that? Ugh, gosh, brat. Let's see. Marie is in. She's from Broomfield, which is a lot like Hawaii. Carol is in from the mountains. Evelyn in from the real mountains down there in Cuenca, Ecuador. Linda is from Sonoma. Oh no, it's never too late, guys. Yeah, obviously you'd like to have your secret song done by the time we start class tonight. Um, because then we're going to go over it tonight. But if you didn't get it done until 6 weeks from now, it's not too late, right? It's the process of doing it. So, yeah, I'd love to see the work that you guys got done. A whole bunch of people got the second song right. I don't have anybody who's got the first song right. And frankly, when I tell you what it is, you'll be like, I don't know that song. So, yeah, but we're gonna use that song as sort of our way of thinking about how to do an arrangement tonight. Hey, Kat, welcome in. Burke is here. That's exciting. Jennifer's here. I sat in on Jennifer's class last week, and it was delightful. Diane is here. She's logging in. Susan is here today. Bonjour. So there's hope for me. There's always hope, Lynn. There's always hope. I have faith. Patty is here. Red's here. Christine is here finally from bonjour. Yeah, I know we're going to do a lot of bonjours this week. Finally here. Pauline is here. Fran, we're supposed to sing a secret song. Yeah, I'd love to see your secret songs. I'd love to know how you managed to get it put together, right? I sent you, it's been a hard task this week. I think you figured out the tabs in the melody, but right. No. There's a pretty good chance you would know the second song. There's almost no chance you'll know the first song, and I did that on purpose. I wanted you to have just a piece of paper where you had to figure out how the melody works. Right, that was the purpose of that. And so, yeah, so the second song is definitely a song that is known, and it would sound probably like something you had heard before. All right, Jack and Barbara are in, and the queue is here. Did I receive? I want to show what to my email. So I have two emails. Well, I have a mess of emails, but they all end up at garyugert@yahoo.com. But when you're setting these things up, they always want you to have a unique email address for different things. So info@ukuleleorchestra.org, info@ukuleleorchestra.org. It just relays over to garyugert@yahoo.com. So normally you'll send stuff into the orchestra and it ends up, and then you'll get it back from Gary, right? You don't need to send it to both places. Either one is fine. It all ends up in the same email box. I primarily only work out of that one email box. I have a couple others that I have to do for spamming certain things, but for the most part, that's the main. Everything should collect in there, and then I'll get back to you from there, hopefully. So let's see. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started today. It's a fun week I have planned. Oh my goodness, I was sitting there working on it over the weekend. I'm like, golly, these guys are lucky to know me. Simple Gifts today is our newer member song. It's one of my favorite tunes in the whole world. I love the fact that it's only 2 chords and it just has a tremendous melody sitting behind it. It's got this very sort of Buddhist message from this weird Christian sect and all this stuff. I mean, it's just got so much, and it's in a Aaron Copland's New World Symphony, right? And so and then now there's I think Some of you might know it as King of the Dance, and so it's this song that just keeps kind of having these multiple lives, and I really love it. Frère Jacques Douloureaux. Douloureux means painful. I had never studied that word when I was in French, but I'm delighted to know it. I'm going to put Douloureux on everything from now on. I think it's just absolutely delightful. So we're going to talk about amping up. I have a couple of people, just two maybe in Denver, who kind of have attitudes like, "Oh, I can do that. I can do that. I can do that." I like to every now and then show them, "Hey, I don't think you're ready. I don't think you have the basics knocked all the way down." And Frère Jacques Douloureaux is one of those where we're going to take the basic song and complicate it to the maximum possible level. And then, of course, we have Au Clair de la Lune, which if you ever studied piano, pretty good chance you did that one. Or if you studied pretty much any sort of the other um, um, elementary type instruments, a lot of times elementary school, they'll dig into that one. Has a very murky history. We have no idea where it came from or what it's really about. And we'll talk about that. Also this week, Daisy Belle, Alouette auprès de Mont Blanc, which is a super fun little song. Qui va Arpeggio, Vive la Compagnie, where it's a real marching fun song. A vous diriger maman is a super fancy way to say Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And then we'll wrap up Thursday with Beyond the Sea, which is known in France as La Mer. It was originally La Mer, and then where that guy from the 50s turned it into a nice song called Beyond the Sea. So we have a really great week ahead. Very excited about everything we're doing, and then well, let's play some music first, and then we'll talk about what's going on tonight as well. Who did I miss? Let's see. Vicky managed to make it in. Yay, and Lindy. Cat. Okay, so Simple Gifts, right? Is that what we're doing? Is that what I'm doing? That's what I'm doing. All right, let's go play that one first. This is from the intro book. As I've talked to lots of you guys, these types of songs in the intro book are not there because they're easy. They're all there to teach you one thing. And the one thing is I can attack a song in lots of different ways to make music. And so when somebody says, what is the right way to do this? Or what is the one way to do this? Or tell me what the strum pattern is, or tell me how we're going to play this one song. I want the message to always be, well, you got a lot of choices here, and that Simple Gifts is setting up here just waiting for you to find your choice of the way you're going to play it. And so you got two chords, right? You got F and C7. So let's do F. Let me get I have to look at myself when I do these. Here's F. Dun, 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 dun. You've done that one many times. And then you've got C chord on this. Okay. Normally, when we have F, a lot of songs will then just go to a C7 to get that tension to run back up to F. But in this case, we're going to go to C. So there's not really a ton of tension. It's very easy to get along with this chord structure. And so that's what we're going to be working on. First thing is F chord, okay, and then C chord. And that's it. What we want to do then is talk about how music works. Make sure that you're clear on this. It says 4/4. So, guys, you took the strumming class probably. How many beats in a measure? 4. You only have one choice, right? 4. The bottom 4 means quarter note. Okay, so it means there's going to be 4 quarter notes in every measure. But as you look through that, it turns out not one single measure has 4 quarter notes in it. So so sometimes they'll divide it up, and a quarter note becomes 2 eighth notes. Sometimes 2 quarter notes will become a half note. In this case, we've got a couple of places where they put a dot after 1 quarter, which means it's now worth 1.5 beats, and then they follow that up with an eighth note, which is worth half a beat, so that you get those 2 beats together. There are some half notes. There's no whole notes in this anywhere, so just make sure when you see 4/4, your first thought is there's going to be 4 beats in each measure, and a quarter note is equal to 1 beat. I don't spend a ton of time talking about that lower number, the low 4 on that, because it really can just end up confusing you. What you care about as a musician, there's 4 beats in the measure, and I'll figure out how that is counted out. Next thing is important, that little B flat sign, that flat sign right in front of the 4/4, that means all of the B's are flat. And for those of you who are trying to learn standard notation, that's a super important piece of information. For those of you who read tablature, that information is not relevant at all. We don't care what's flat and we don't care what's sharp. We're going to pick whatever fret we need to press down, and we're going to sound great. So there's no reason whatsoever for us to care as tablature players what notes are flat and what notes are sharp. We don't care. The tablature will take care of that for us. The other piece of information here that's kind of important is the pickup notes, okay? And I do want you to be really clear on what pickup notes are. Before the song starts, if there's any notes that happen before that measure number 1, those are called pickup notes. In this case, we have 2 eighth notes that are a pickup note. So I would count, if I need 4 beats in that pickup, or 4 beats in measure 0, I need beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, and then I play tis so those are that's called a pickup, okay? And it's important because it comes up in music a lot. Back in the day, in olden times, whatever number of beats were in the pickup note, you had to subtract them from the last measure. It was a dumb system because it was just extra work. You had to count, all right, if I'm going to take those notes off the beginning, or if I'm going to have those notes in the beginning, I'm going to subtract them from the last measure so that everything works out perfectly mathematically. And this is what happens when you let musicians be in charge of sheet music, non-musicians be in charge of sheet music. They got to get it all mathematical and have it all neat and orderly and clean. And these days, people don't really worry about that anymore. I suppose some people still worry about it, but certainly no musicians ever worry about it, because your last measure is always going to end up being longer or different probably than the rest of the measures anyway. And the way I overcame that was I'm just like, all right, fine. I'm just going to just pretend that first measure has the notes in there, and I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. So just know, back in the day, the last measure was supposed to equal whatever notes were in the pickup measure. All right, now let's go into strumming and singing. Okay, that's step 1, making sure we can do that. As you guys know, I'm not much of a singer, and Kathy taught me, if you find your first note, it's 0, right? Get your voice close to that, and you'll be a little bit better off. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down to where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in a place that is right, it will be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we won't be ashamed. To turn, and turn, it will be our delight, till by turning and turning we come round right. On that last measure, I just strummed 3 because it doesn't make any sense to add in the 4th beat for no particular reason. I just do 3 and let the ukulele ring out. But always be thoughtful, especially when you're playing in a group. Hey, how are we going to handle that last measure? You actually have to practice the first couple measures and the last couple of measures to make sure everybody knows what everybody else is going to do, so that you end up sounding good. Now, obviously, chords 1, 2, 3, 4. I wasn't doing anything fancy. There, you've got options with your right hand. This is what we really work on around here, at least in the beginning, is getting your right hand smarter than your left hand. Your left hand actually is going to be the one that you're going to spend your life staring at, but this hand has to learn all of its skills and operate independently. So you could have been doing 1, 2, 3, 4. You also could have taken all 4 fingers, 4 strings. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You could also done, if you want to sound great, do an arpeggio pattern: thumb, index, middle, index, thumb, index, middle, index, or thumb, index, middle, ring, thumb, index, middle, ring. Any pattern that results in 4 plucks is going to work out fine. So you can either do 4 or 8, right? 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, right? So I'm really going fast to make it sound really fancy. I think the song, generally speaking, will tell you how you should attack the right hand patterns. If you spend not enough time, or if you get it overly wild on a simple song like this, it won't sound great, and so on. There are, of course, times when you want to push the boundaries. Some of you will remember there was a song by Simon and Garfunkel called Sounds of Silence, and they did it a certain way, and that's the correct way to do it, and nobody ever questioned it. And then here comes along what's the name of it? Disturbed, this heavy metal rock band, and they did it with all this heavy duty guitar in there. It actually turns out they probably did a better version of Sound of Silence than Simon and Garfunkel. It made a lot more sense the way they did it. And so sometimes you take what's in front of you and you push it and see what happens. And sometimes you get lucky. Most of the time, you're probably best off. Israel Kamakaole did it, right? We had one way of playing Over the Rainbow. It's Judy Garland's way. There were no other ways. It was the perfect way. That song was perfect. And then he rolls on the scene and says, oh, I'm going to try it a different way. And he managed to hit a home run on it. So just know when you got a song like this, do you want to be pounding away on the chords? Maybe, maybe not, right? Be thoughtful that there's good art and bad art. And so sometimes you want to know whether it's you or not. All right, let's play the melody. All of you, hopefully, at this point, are reading tablatures just fine. By the way, somebody has sent me an email and says, I don't know what orchestra mode means this fall. Orchestra mode means you're going to be playing a whole lot of straight line melody. Okay, that's what it means. So I want you to get as comfortable as you can with that, because when we go into orchestra mode, I need lots and lots and lots and lots of people to be able to play melody at whatever speed we need it to play at. And so you're going to be practicing getting your melody playing way up to speed. Of course, Tough Uke will still be a part of what we do, but that's much more of a solo situation where you're going to be working on that as well. But in orchestra, we don't worry about Tough Uke. We got 80 players, and in fact, on Global Institute, we've been getting 50 to 60 players every time. So we're going to have a lot of players all around the world, and everybody needs, and then we have those two zeros. 1, 2, 3. 0, 0, 1, 1, 3, 0, 1, 0, 1, 3, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, 0, 3, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 3, 0, 3, 0, 1, 3, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 0, 0, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1, 2. 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 0, 2, 3, 3, 0, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 0, 0, 1, 3, 1, 0, 3, 3, 0, 3, 0, 1, 1, 3, 0, 3, 0, 1, 3, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 0, 0, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1. Okay, beautiful little melody. I played it at speed, at about 100 beats per minute. Beats per minute. I played it fairly quickly, and so for you to kind of judge, hey, how am I doing on that, right? Two thoughts come to mind. If you weren't doing well on it, you got to slow it down in order to get your fingering correct and to be thinking that. If you're doing fine but messing up here or there, that means that you're just going to need to work on those moments that are tougher. And then the third thought is, I remember my third thought. I had a very important third thought. What was my third thought? Slow it down if that was too much. Play it. Just go through and study those sections. I know what my third thought. My third thought was, hopefully you're not overcomplicating it. Index finger here, ring finger here. You don't even use your middle finger on this song, right? So you're just making sure to have the least amount of motion. You're committing to that positional playing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play it again. We'll slow it down just a little bit. Okay? 1, 2, 3. 0, 0, 1, 1, 3, 0, 1, 0, 1, 3, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 3, 1, 3, 0, 3, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 3, 0, 3, 0, 1, 3, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3, 3, 3, 0, 0, 3, 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3 0 1 0 3 1 2 3 0 0 1 3 1 0 3 3 0 3 2 3 0 1 1 3 0 3 0 1 3 3 1 0 3 1 3 3 3 0 3 1 1 3 1. Okay, and I blew the timing a tiny bit on measure 15, and the nice part about playing as a group is you're less likely to do that because you got a whole mess of people around you, and I have this tendency to turning into eighth note, quarter note when it's really quarter note, eighth note. Okay, and so that's why I always put standard notation on there. Not so much so that you will play from it or that you will actually read from it. Some of you are working on that, perfectly fine. Good activity for your brain. But really, it's there so you can judge your timing. Okay, and make sure that your timing, everybody agrees on, because a lot of people will have heard this song in various different ways, and so sometimes you're like, well, I have a head different in my head that's on the paper. If you're playing solo, if you're playing tough, you can play it the way that's in your head. But if you're playing in a group, you have to do exactly what is on the paper because that's the only fair thing to do, right? All right, so we've got the melody and the chords. Now here's the thought, guys. Those of you who've been around a while is if I know the melody and I know the chords, what I know Gary's going to do in his arrangement, it's what you're going to do too when you're doing arrangements, is we're seeing how often and how much of those chords, how much of it will fit underneath the melody on the tablature line. Okay, so if you look at this, if you compare the melody going through there, it's always the top note. It's always the top note on your tough uke line. There will never be a time when that doesn't happen. I shouldn't say it. There's rarely a time when that doesn't happen. There's lots of times when you'll put in a decorative note that goes above the melody, but not when the main melody line is always going to have chords stuck underneath it. The interesting thing about this instrument, and guys, sometimes people don't appreciate this as much as they should. On guitar, it's super easy because every string that's underneath the melody line gets lower and lower and lower. So I can do guitar arrangements in my sleep. I don't even think about it, right? If I know all those notes are going to be lower, it's going to be duck soup. And when you go buy a ukulele music, some of you have done this, you've gone out and you're like, I'm going to buy a book from Amazon about the ukulele. They're written by guitar players, and most of them are absolutely horse malarkey because they bring that same head to arranging ukulele, and lots of not cool thing happens because of that. I know I'm kind of the poster child of that. When I first started arranging, I made all kinds of stupid mistakes. Ukulele has a high string here, right? Bing! That's what makes it a ukulele. That's what makes it super fun. And when you are arranging, you have to be mindful that, hey, sometimes this note is higher than a note I might need to play melody-wise on this string. And so I've got to be careful as an arranger, and then even more careful as a musician, to make sure to bring some context to that arrangement and make sure that that note there doesn't end up messing up my brain's notion of where the melody goes. And so that's what makes this thing actually even more fun. And it allows us to do all sorts of kind of cool arrangements that are not possible on other instruments. And so again, got the right machine here. It's really good. Okay. All right. Let's go through it. We'll walk through the whole thing real quick, make sure that we know what we're doing. If you are newer, I suggest thumb down on every single thing that we do in Tough Uke. If you've been around a while, I suggest doing your claw on every single thing you do in Tough Uke. And then, if those of you guys have been around a while, once you get through and you've done the claw, then you go back through and think, well, does this sound better or does this sound better? And then you make smart choices based on what the music is telling you to do, not what the paper is telling you to do. So the paper says, here's what you should do, right? And then you as a musician have to say, all right, that's what the paper says I should do, but I would rather I'm going to do a pluck here and a strum there, or I'm going to do all strums, or I'm going to do all plucks, or I'm going to add arpeggio pattern in between notes or something, So you're bringing your knowledge and your tool set to the paper. You're in charge of it. It's not in charge of you completely. Okay. So first two notes on Tough Uke are the open zeros, and then you've got 2-1, 2-0-1, which is a partial F chord, right? And remember, rest stroke. Your thumb really physically does rest on that first string. The string you're not going to play, that thumb is sitting there, so it doesn't accidentally go off. Okay, play it again. You got a 3. Use your ring finger to play the 3, and then you got a full F chord, 2 0 1 0. Then you have a 1. You're already holding it down, so pluck that. And then a 0. It's already open. You're going to have to move your index finger to get the last 1 and measure 1. And then go back to your F chord. Use a pinky for that 3. Okay, and then 3 1. And then another full F chord. 3 1. Use your ring finger. 3. Lift your ring finger up. And notice I never move this. This is how I get notes connected. When a lot of times people say, "Hey, how do I get my music sounding smoother?" Try not to ever lift any finger up, ever, right? And only when you absolutely have to do you move a finger. Okay, that's going to make your playing sound smoother and more connected. Measure 3. You got 0 0 3. Okay, again, rest stroke here. 2 more 3s, and then 0 0 3. Hit a 1, and 0 0 3 again. Open. 0 0 3 again. Lift up your ring finger. Oh, oh, oh. Now we go back to that F chord. 2 0 1. Lift up your index. Put it back. Add your ring, open, go back to your ring. I've never moved my ring. It's still ringing out. Okay, go back to the 0, hit the 1. You got that F chord with the 3. Guys, as long as you own a ukulele, that shape is going to come up a gajillion times. Just get comfy with it. Okay, here's your 3, and the 1, and then another F chord. 3 1, ring finger, and then 0 0 3. 2 more 3s. We love this chord, right? 0 3, and then measure 8 is partial F chords. 3 with your ring finger, and then get rid of your ring finger. Okay, pinky finger back down that first string. And again, those are half notes, so make sure you're giving them plenty of time off, right? Make sure they don't rush the next note until you've given the full value of that half note. And now to the F chord. 3 with your ring, and 0 1 0 3, F chord. Hit the 3, another F chord, 0 1, F chord with your pinky, hit the 1 0, 0 0 3, hit the 3 0, strum, 0, nice F chord, partial F, 1 3, and then a full F chord. Hit the 3 again with your ring. Open. Move this, then get the 1. Move it back and put your ring on. 3 1. F chord. 3 1. 0 0 3. 0 0 3. 2 more times. Nice big A minor 7. Okay. Again. 0 0 3. F chord. Again. Ring finger on 3. Okay, and for those of you looking for a fancy ending, it's sitting up here on 8. Okay, so that's your fancy ending. That's an F note right here. And if you're playing in the key of F and you want to wrap up an F, that's it right there. Okay, if you're playing in G, you play the 10. Okay, sounds terrible in this case because we're playing in F. Okay, you ready? Play the whole thing. We're going to go plenty slow to give you an opportunity to be successful. 1, 2, 3. Measure 3. Measure 5. fancy ending. Bar on 5, pinky on 8. Okay. Sounds pretty. All right, that's Simple Gifts, one of my all-time favorite songs, and I gotta fix that. I don't think I did a count-in on this one, so I'm gonna fix that, and I'm gonna put 5, 5, 5, 8 at the end. It sounds pretty, doesn't it? All right, beautiful. Okay, there's our American song for the day. Let us take a trip to France, shall we? We are going to play. What are we playing next? Oh, you know what? We're going to put. Let's do Au Clair de Lune first, because I think Frère Jacques is going to put some of you to sleep. I don't want you to go to sleep yet. All right, I don't want to knock you out. I want to do Au Clair de la Lune. Au Clair de la Lune. Au Clair de la Lune. Where are you? Where are you? Hold on. I don't think I put him in the right folder. There he is. All right. So Au Clair de la Lune is just a fairly standard piece of music that most musicians, when you're beginning, like on violin or piano, a lot of times they'll teach us this song. This song could not possibly make. I had to go and read the French Wikipedia page in order to get any meaningful information about it. Even the French are like, this song doesn't make any sense. It's just the words are goofed up. So they think there's been some monkeying around with the words, and so we're going to go to Paris. Yes, Jennifer, Paris. Paris would be the exact place we're going to be. You could go to Monte Carlo, but the Romans weren't in Monte Carlo, so it's not a real place. The Romans were in Paris, and so that's a good place to be. Au Clair de Lune is the story of a guy going door to door looking apparently for a pen, but the musicologists who have studied this a little bit think that he was really looking for a light so that he could write a letter, but the lume and the word for light and the word for pen apparently got confused over the time, and so I cleaned it up a little bit based on what I read on the French Wikipedia page. Basically, what I've got is that Pierrot is his friend. He lives next door, and Pierrot is a sort of a typical French dude, and he goes over there to get a candle. He needs to have his candle relit so that he can write a letter to his friend. Pierre, his friend is already in bed, and he's like, I'm not in bed. Go next door to that girl's house who lives next door. Her fire is on. I don't know how he knows that from his bed, but he knows. And so then our main character, Lune, I think is his name. Where's his name? Luden, I think was his name. Yeah, Lubin. Lubin is the main character. Lubin goes next door to the brunette's house, and then she helps him find a pen and a candle. Or we think, right? Now, the end of this gets very fishy because it appears that she lets him in the house, they close the door, and nobody knows what happens after that. So there's a little bit of a naughty side to this, is what they've got going on as well. I don't remember them teaching us that in third grade, but apparently that's there. And according to the French Wikipedia page, it's absolutely the suggestion that something naughty happened at that point. Okay, we'll take it on face value that he was going door to door looking for a candle and a pen so he could write to his friend, and the brunette was very kind to let him into the house so that they could look for a pen and a candle. And so that's the story on the song. What your story is, what you don't care about any of that. What you care about is that we are in the key of A. Okay? Dun, 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 dun. And you're going to use that chord. It's the same as, remember this little book that I make you guys do all the time? It's the same key as that. And guess what? The chords are all make perfect sense compared to that. You also have an E7 in here. Dun, dun, dun. Okay. You also have the world famous F sharp minor in here. Isn't that beautiful? It's a gorgeous chord. And the only thing in here that you don't have in the little book, you do have a B minor, which is a bar chord on 2, ring finger up here on 4. It's absolutely part of the A major key. And then one that doesn't really fit is B7, but once you've got your B minor on, you'll just slide your middle finger out. to get that little bit of tension there. I think most great songs have one chord that doesn't seem to belong, and that's the chord that doesn't seem to belong in there. But it comes at this moment of tension in the song. My fire looks pale and odd, and so that's where it starts to go away. Those of you who took French in college, you can absolutely go sing the original French words. I decided that I would never do that, so I just put all English words in here. But Wikipedia is more than happy to provide you with what they consider to be the official words. All right, I want to play the melody, and let's go. Make sure that you know kind of how the song goes. All right, from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 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 2, 4, 2. Oh, 4, 2, 2. Oh, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 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 2, 4, 2. Oh, 4, 2, 2. Oh, 2, 3, 4. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. 2, 2, oh, 4, 2, oh, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 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 2, 4, 2. Oh, 4, 2, 2, oh. Okay. Now, if you were paying attention earlier, you played that in first position. You used every 2 as your middle finger and every 4 was your pinky finger. You did not reach your ring finger over to play your 4s. Don't be that person. I was that person forever, and all it does is pull your hand out of position. It's going to make it harder to get back into position. You're going to make a lot more mistakes if you do that. And I know when you first start, your pinky's like, no, I don't want to do that. That hurts. It's not fun. I don't want to be that pinky. And you're going to be like, pinky, I love you. You're going to be that pinky. And then you always play 4s with your pinky. If you will tell yourself, I'm always going to do that, then your pinky's like, God darn it. And then it'll do it. Okay. Supposed to play the song 4 times until he gets into the brunette's house to look for a candle and a pen. All right, let's talk tough uke. Okay, A chord, regular A chord. Play it. Hit the 0. Play the A chord again. Add your ring finger to get the 2, and then add. Don't pick it back up. Just add your pinky on at 4. And then lose your pinky. Okay, so that's the first 2 measures. And then we have back to the A. 4, 2. Hit the 2 again. Okay, and then I add in decorative notes on whole notes because I will lose track, right? 1, oh, oh. And those are just there to make sure you don't get ahead of yourself. Okay? Measures 5 through 8 are essentially this. I think they are the same. We're pretty darn close anyway. Let's go through them. Oh, now it changes. The chords change, right? So you go to your F sharp chord, 2 0, 2 1 2 0. Beautiful. Hit the 4. Now you're going to have to switch to the E7. Boom, just like that. So be mindful. Don't get too out of whack here. Just your index finger up 1, middle finger down 1, ring finger to the bottom. Okay. And then an A chord. That little section there is going to require a little bit of work on your chording. Okay. Now go to measure 9. Yay, bar chords. Okay. 2 2 2 4. Partial bar chord. Okay, now make it B7. Just move don't pick up your bar, just add your middle finger. Go grab the 0, 2, 3, 4. Okay, since my bar is on 2 and my my middle finger is on 3, I'm probably just going to add my ring finger there, even though the rule says, hey, put your pinky there. Okay. But because I'm playing in second position, it makes sense to have my ring finger there now on that 4. Okay, 2, 3, 4. And then lift your ring finger up to get the 2. And then an E7. 2, oh, 2. Okay, so that's the only weird moment in the song, and then all the rest of this we just play out. Go. F sharp minor. And go back. Okay. The last time through, don't go into measure 16, of course. It's, and we'll finish it up there. Sometimes I like to go up high, but I don't like to go up high on the A chord, because then your high note is a C sharp and it doesn't work as good as if you just use the low A and your last string is an A note, and that sounds better. Okay, ready? Play it through one time, because I want to dig into Frère, Jacques next. Okay, all right, so one time through, skip that last measure and go to the very end measure. Skip the penultimate measure and go to the last measure. Is penultimate, is that Latin? I think that's Latin. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play it one more time. I need to do a better job than that. From the top, ready and play. It feels like Paris, right? You'd go get a cappuccino wearing a weird hat, right? Cappuccinos are Italian. They drink a lot of cappuccino in France. They drink a lot of Italian wine there too. All right, Ass Alouette. I'm sorry, Eau Clair de la Lune. Now, here's your challenge for the week. Frère Jacques Douloureaux. That's how I learned how. That's ultimately how I ended up doing pretty well in French. Is you just got to get the accent right, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, I can do French. It's no big problem. You just go a lot, and it will come out. It will be beautiful. I did not give you a melody on this one. You want to know why? You already know the melody, right? 0240 0240 457 457 797 540 797 540 00000. And you know that because on day one of ukulele, I taught it to you. And on day one of ukulele, I says, you need to memorize it because you're going to teach it to somebody. Okay. So you have it memorized, right? And now we're going to dress it up. I have 2 people in Denver that I work with on a weekly basis who think that they are smarter than they are. Okay. You might know somebody like that in your life. I'm probably that guy too. And what the problem with that is when you decide that you're smarter than you are is that you don't think that you need to study certain things. Like you don't think you need to do Frère Jacques, right? The problem with not studying, going back to the the easy stuff time and time again is that you're always working on harder stuff, and you're doing it without necessarily mastering all of the possible tool sets that you could have on something easier, master them there, and then you bring that tool set to the more advanced music. So what I like to do is take super simple songs and see how far and crazy and complicated we can make it. And this is about as complicated as I could make Frère, Jacques. So here's how I want you to attack this. Okay, the chords are all A's, right? But if you're going to have all A's, you want to have more than one type of A. So you've got some of the open chord A's, and you've got some of the fourth fret A's. And those are both A's. Now, as a ukulele player, you're like, those don't even sound the same. Okay? But they are the same. Okay? It's just a different inversion. And this one, of course, has a generally higher pitch. So it's similar to playing if you were on a piano and you played the A chord down here in standard position, and then you went up here and played it with a little bit different inversion on it, and it would sound a little different than this one. But they're still A chords because they have A, C, sharp, and E. That's the only notes in those chords. It's just one's down here, one's up here. They sound a little different. And you like that as an instrumentalist, right? We don't want to, if we're always hanging out down here, we always get the exact same flavor of whatever chord we're playing. And it's nice to move them up the fretboard and get to the little bit more advanced shapes so that you can take the exact same chord and give it a little bit of extra salt and pepper to make it sound cool. Okay, the other reason why it gets moved up here is that the melody starts moving up here, and it's hard to hold this A and reach all the way up to 7. You technically can do it, but it gets really unpleasant to do. And, you know, that's why you want to be Jake Shimabukuro with giant hands, right? On this little instrument you can reach up here. You get to play things that guitar players can't play, and all of a sudden they think you're somebody, right? You are somebody, by the way. You're somebody, too. All right, next thing. So you got 2 different types of A. Next thing, you notice you have 16th notes, and notice that all of a sudden you're not playing at 120 beats a minute anymore. You're playing it at 60. Okay, so those of you who are thinking about arranging music down the road somewhere, be aware 16th notes are not playable by ukulele players unless the meter drops very low. Okay, you will not be successful playing 16th notes above 80. You won't. Okay, and I have a couple of people here in town who are positive that they can do it, and they have never once proven to me on any long and consistent basis that they can do it. Okay, so 60 beats a minute, we might be able to pull off the 16th notes. Okay, next thing on this one, I didn't give you a melody line. It's still here. It's hiding in all of this mess. Okay, it's still there. You can find it. 0240 0240 457 457 79754 79754 It's just sitting right there on that top string, but it's a little hidden because of all the other fancy stuff we're going to do. Okay, grab your A chord. Grab 4 strings. First note is A. Okay, that's your melody note is right there. So make sure to hit that first note, first string clean. Then we're going to play 101. 101. And then we're going to hit the A chord again, but we're going to add our 2 here. 101 again. And then a 4. 101. And then take your pinky and your ring finger off. So we do that exact same thing, 2 measures in a row. So let's do it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do it again. Beautiful. Okay, that's a lot of music. That's a lot of music for 2 measures. It's what classical guitar players do, is they take a melody, whatever the melody is, and then they just put all sorts of extra doodly-doos all around it, where pretty soon you're like, oh my gosh, that is really something. It's just a melody decorated by chords. Okay, now, next A chord here, bar on 4, F shape in front. Okay. Okay, and there's a super disappointing moment in this song, and I'll tell you, it's coming up in 4 notes. Okay, so the next thing I did, notice I put carets above these. Okay, that means you're supposed to hit them louder and harder. Okay, and you don't need to change the shape of your chord at all. There's going to be one moment where you're going to drop your middle finger down, but you don't need to change the shape of your chord. And typically, when I'm doing arrangements, I'm not going to change. I'm not going to move this if I don't have to, and I don't have to. It's going to sound fine. I'm just picking these middle strings out again. Okay, so grab all 4, index, middle, index. Here's the most frustrating part of this song. You've got to drop your middle finger down to get the melody note here. So you're going to hit that with your ring, and then you're going to go back to 4-5-4, and then put your middle finger back where it was, and add your pinky finger on 7, and then a whole bunch of 4-5s. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Okay, we just got to get that one moment where the middle finger drops down, plays it with the ring, and then goes right back up. Okay, let's try it. We'll play 2 measures in a row of the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, okay. Now, don't rush. At home, practice it as slow as you need to, because it's going to be amazing when you're all done. Now, then here's what's another fascinating thing. When we get to 7-9-7-5, when we first learn this song, that's the fast part. That's the hard part. It goes zipping by, and I even have you go home for the whole first week of you learning ukulele to practice your 7-9-7-5-4-0. Now it's the slowest part of the song because everything else has been speeded up to a 16th note. So when you get to this, it's going to be, it's going to feel super crazy slow. Okay, then you're going to put that A chord on, a nice bar here, and then the other A chord. Okay, that's what you're supposed to do. Okay, so let's play measures 5 and 6. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, that's it. Okay, then the last part, we always love that when we were learning this song. Bum, bum, bum. It's super fun, right? We love doing that part because we get the whole class singing it, and it's all great. Okay, but now we have to fancy it up. Okay, so now we're going to play the 1. Okay, you're going to be holding this A chord. O1, O1, O, bum, 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 or bum, bum, bum. Probably that, right? Index finger. Down, up, down. Okay, that's how we make it sound super exciting. Okay, and we also notice the carets are above the melody note. 0, extra note, 0, extra note, 0, extra note. Or not extra note, but chump, chump, chump. Okay, get your A chord on. Let's play measures 7 and 8. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, and you're going to repeat the whole song. Okay, we're going to try it right now. No, we're not. It's 2 o'clock. I'm going to make you go home and try it. Okay, tomorrow we will start with Frère Jacques. Okay, Douloureaux, the tough one. Okay, the painful Frère Jacques is what that title means. Okay, that gives you a whole bunch of stuff on a very basic song, and believe me, that will make you more popular among your friends playing simple stuff fancy than playing fancy stuff simple. Okay, so we're always talking about, I try not to simplify music. We want to take music that we can play and complicate it. That's what we really want to do. And so that's it. Okay, so take your hands off the ukulele and be like, He wants us to mess up Frère Jacques. Okay, if you can play this, you can play anything. And wish me well to write down on the chat box. Say, Gary, have a great day, and go off and play Frère Jacques tonight. Tomorrow we'll be playing Frère Jacques. We will be playing Daisy Bell, Alouette, and Après de Mont Blanc. None of you know Après de Mont Blanc. I barely know it, and I've been in love with it for a while. So we'll practice that one tomorrow. So tomorrow we got a lot of sheet music. We'll jam it in. Less talking, more playing kind of thing. And we're gonna have a great week of de français, de musique. And that's it. Have a great day, you guys. All right. Oh, and tonight, right? Tonight, I'm going to run over the very basics of arranging music and doing it with MuseScore. So if you haven't downloaded MuseScore, you might want to just go ahead and get that download and put it in there. It will not be a MuseScore class. It's going to be about arranging using an electronic tool. So, but you probably, MuseScore is what we're going to recommend you use because it's free and relatively easy to use. So that's that. All right. I'll see a lot of you guys tonight. And otherwise, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful night. Let's see who's sneaking out of here. Lindy, have a wonderful day, wonderful night. Lynn, I'll see you tonight or tomorrow. Marie, probably tonight, right? Renee, have a great night. I'll see you tonight. Awesome. Clay, you bet. Good to see you, bud. Evelyn, see you tonight. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, Evelyn. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon. Red, have a great day. I'm going to have a great day. I'm already having a great day, right? Thanks, Red. You too. Chris, have a wonderful afternoon. See you tonight. Patty, see you tonight. Heck yeah. All right. Manette, really fun lesson today. Good. Manette's always very positive about my lessons. One of these days, Manette's going to go, that lesson stunk. Valerie, yeah, it's painful, right? We're taking a simple idea and just seeing how far we can push it. That's what we're going to do. I think, and I love doing that. I love doing that. So, all right. See you tonight, Pauline. Have a great night. I like the cha-cha-cha. Yeah. Dun-dun. Ding, ding, dong, cha-cha-cha. Ding, ding, dong, cha-cha-cha. So French, right? I don't know. I think it's American. Who knows? Sounds like a word. Sounds like a word. The apple fire has gone. Oh, God. Are you near that apple fire, friend? Oh, my. I saw a video of that. Oh, my goodness. I mean, fire just leaping up 40, 50 feet in the air. Jeez, please. I hope you're, I hope that, friend, get in your car and go somewhere. That's not good. Jeez Louise, I didn't know you were anywhere near that. That's so scary. Be careful. Lanny, you're sitting on the veranda overlooking the ocean. Mahalo to you, bud. All right, Cat. Bon après-midi. Bon après-midi. Mon ami as well, with an E on the end, right? I'm pushing my limits of what I remember from college French. Thanks, Kat. Have a great day. All right, Laurel, I'll see you later. Gosh, be safe, friend. Yeah, we'll study just a little, just enough to get you frustrated with MuseScore, right? I'm going to get you started on that. I do think it's the right platform for us to be messing with, and I will see all of you tonight. Fran, be careful out there. I'm going to hit the end of the stream. I will see all of you guys tonight.